Well, wait, is this July already? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ritz and today we will be discussing my July TBR and I'm so excited because I have so many good books to read from. So without further ado, let's jump right in. The first book that I would be reading this July is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. It's a thriller. He's the master of the thriller, and I am so excited. The last book, which he had released, I think in 2023, was Only One Left, and I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about that book. So this book also, I am so looking forward to, read this book. It's about two best friends. One of them goes missing. I don't know much about it. All I know is that this whole story revolves around the missing friend and what happened to him, and it has some, I think, bit of paranormal element also in this book, so we have to see. So I'm really excited to read that. The next book that I would be reading, and I am so excited for this book because of the concept of the book, is Lula Dean's Library of Banned Books by Kristen Miller. Now, this book is a satire to the society these days where banning books is very normal, and what happens is Lula Dean is one such philanthropist who thinks that she is doing good to the society by banning books which she thinks is pornographic or satanic or has some sort of bad influence to the society or the generation these days. But she hasn't read any of those books, but she decides to ban them, and so she opens up a library in her front yard, and she decides to put only books which she thinks is good for the culture and society of today's generation. And someone in the middle of the night changes the book with its dust cover and puts the banned books inside the dust covers of the books Lula Dean has purchased. Therefore, everyone in the town who's accessing Lula's library ends up reading the banned books, and somehow their lives changes for good. And this is a book which really sounds so unique and is so required for the society that I am very excited to read this book, and I want to see what Kristen Miller has done with this topic. I'm so excited. It might turn out to be like one of the best books of the year. Book that I would be reading is Death in the Air by Ram Murali. Now, I got this copy of the book from Amazon, and I'm really not happy about this copy. This feels like a used book, though it is like a very new and latest book that has been published. I mean, look at this. This is torn. This whole cover looks like it's been used or folded or something. I don't know what's wrong with Amazon. Generally, they send books in good conditions, but this book turned out to be really in a bad shape. So anyway, this book is about a mystery that takes place in the serene beauty of Himalayas. So I don't know much about this book. All I can say is that this book is a mystery book, a thriller book, a murder mystery, I think, which takes place in the Himalayas, and that itself has compelled me to read this book because I am in love with the Himalayas. If you have been anywhere near the Himalayas, you would know how beautiful that place is. I want to see how Ram Murali has used the Himalayan beauty in this book, because I'm sure that rugged beauty is also a huge part in this book. And also, Ram Murali would be an author whom I'm reading for the first time. I don't know if it is his debut book or not, but I am absolutely looking forward to reading his book. I love reading Indian authors or Indian origin authors. So let's see how this. Next book which I have been looking forward to read for quite some time is Samsara by xoxo. Now, this book is about Indian mythology. The souls of samsara are people of a particular society who are being kidnapped from the modern day India to the valleys of this Himalayas. Yeah, this also has a Himalayan background. So the valleys of Himalaya. So here phones stop working, there's no internet, and magical world. It's a magical world. Magical things starts happening. There are mythical beasts and there are gods involved, and the sole aim of the souls of samsara is to learn the sorcery and be prepared for the treacherous journey not many can survive. But there's a grand scheme which is at play. Some god gives them order which is very controversial and they have to fulfill it. So I am very excited to see how the mythical world of the Hindu gods and the mythology unfolds, and it is definitely going to be a good read. The next book which I would be reading and is a very famous book right now in the internet is going on like rounds. I'm seeing rounds and rounds of conversation regarding this book is James by Percival Everett. It is the retelling of Huckleberry Finn, and from the point of view of slaves, a black man in America. And I am so excited to see how this retelling unfolds because Huckleberry Finn is a very, very, very favorite of mine, and James it is. The next book is Love Letters to a Serial Killer by Tasha Correll. Now, this book is about falling in love with a serial killer. So, this lady writes love letters to a serial killer who is in jail and in captivity. And one fine day, the serial killer writes back, and a few days after that, the serial killer is acquitted of all crimes and he's free. So what does he do? Does he go back to the lady and makes her the next target? I don't know. The topic is quite catchy, and I just love to get into the minds of serial killers. If I would have been a journalist, I think I would have been that kind of a journalist who runs around serial killers, questioning them in prison and not falling in love obviously, but definitely questioning them and trying to get to know what goes on their mind. So it is one of that kind of books, and I absolutely am excited to read this book. The last book that would be in my TBR is kind of a last minute addition, and I forced myself to add this book. So it is a romance, and it is a very, very popular romance. It's Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I am pushing myself to read romance more because it's a genre which I don't enjoy much, but it seems like I'm missing out on quite some good work because of that preconceived notion of me not liking it. I want to give Emily Henry a chance because I know that her books are so famous in the world today when it comes to romance. She's one of the main names of romantic authors, and I want to give her a chance. I want to see how this book unfolds, and therefore I'm pushing myself to read this book. At least I should have one romance in my monthly TBRs from now on. I have to do that to push myself to read a romance, more romance books. Guys, that's the end of the video. That's my TBR for July. Quite high hopes because there were quite a few number of books. Hope I'll finish all of them, and do let me know if you guys are reading any of these books and how do you find them. Till then, I love you guys loads. Bye.